Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Ware Wendell, and I'm the Director of Legislative Affairs for Texas Watch, a nonprofit, nonpartisan consumer organization. Homeowners are forced to purchase insurance, and the bottom line is that they're paying more in premiums for less in coverage. Let's return to fundamentals and take decisive action to ensure hardworking Texas families receive what Teddy Roosevelt once called a square deal. The biggest issue confronting the state is what value, and let me underline that, what value are Texas policyholders receiving? Are they paying a fair price, and are they receiving decent coverage? In order to lower rates, we believe that consumers should be empowered to generate real price competition. This is consumer-driven competition. The best way to do this is to simplify the marketplace so that people can easily shop. As it stands today, due to the many different forms and endorsements that are enforced in the marketplace, consumers cannot make apples-to-apples comparisons. The option of a standard policy form would serve as a benchmark, against which they could compare other policies from a single carrier or compare one carrier to another. They may ultimately choose a different policy that fits their individual needs, but at least they will have been able to have made a meaningful choice. Once consumers are given the opportunity to make smart decisions that will force carriers to compete for their business, basic market economics tells us that will lead to lower prices and better service for consumers. The option of a standard form would also address another problem in the market, which Senator Vanderputte described as junk policies. She talked about, in a very evocative and accurate manner, luscious exclusions, quote unquote, that we're seeing in the coverage or the lack thereof that's offered today. We're seeing deductibles raised to as high as 5%. In OPIC's written testimony, they have a lot of good information for you in there as well about how deductibles have been shifted upward, which of course places more and more of the burden directly and squarely on consumers. On a $200,000 home, for example, you'd have to pay $10,000 out of pocket before the carrier would be obligated. The question becomes, at what point is insurance an illusion? How many homeowners have a spare $10,000 lying around after they've already paid for that premium year over year? I sent a letter to the committee earlier in the year also looking at the reductions in coverage that we've seen. Commissioner Giesland released a report looking and quantifying at the coverage provided today as compared to in earlier years. And just a few highlights. 87% of policies today provide less coverage for continuous or repeated leakage from plumbing, heating, or air conditioning. 72% provide less coverage for backup of sewers and drains. 67% provide less coverage for damage to foundations and slabs. If you asked your constituents what's covered in your policy, they would expect that foundations, water, these are basic coverages that are being reduced. There are holes in today's policies, and consumers often don't learn about them until it's too late, until they have to file a claim, and they hear back through an artfully worded exclusion or endorsement that there's no coverage there for them. A standard policy form would provide policyholders with the option of comprehensive coverage that covers you for all the things that you would expect. Many carriers already offer multiple insurance policies. This is being done, showing that providing one additional option is not asking much. Important work remains to be done in the area of transparency, and here are some solutions. Carriers should provide a checklist, written in plain language, detailing what their policies do and don't cover. This is common sense. We should build on Senator Watson's efforts to state the true dollar amount of deductibles on policies. Senator Lucio has admirably brought the state health insurer site into existence, and we should raise its profile by listing it prominently on all printed materials from carriers. The same goes for OPIC's very helpful policy comparison tool. Policyholders should be given easy access to review their current policy and endorsements that are in effect. Simple inquiries about coverage by educated policyholders should not be used against them as if they actually filed a claim. We We look forward to working with you to fix this market and to ensure Texans finally receive a square deal, namely a good value for their insurance dollars. I thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much.